Hi, welcome back, viewers, and a very good morning to you all. First of all, I would like to thank you all for the warm reception of the first video in this advanced vocabulary series through Dr. Shashi Tharoor's book, An Era of Darkness. In this second part, I would like to comment on one of the comments of our viewer. The message is, rather, it's a request, and I find it as a very active engagement in this process of learning, because learning is not a product, or communication skills is not a product, it's a process, and the best way to engage is through your comments. And that's why I request all of you, those who are actively making the most of these videos, that please do write your questions in the comment box so that I can connect you precisely where you need the help of tech. So the comment is, sir, please make a video on how we improve English and how can we use your vocabulary and how to memorize and use in daily life. Sir, please make a video on it. So instead of making a video on it, I just try to answer to your queries. Your first query is how to improve English. For that matter, you can view already uploaded video on English communication skills that is available on TEC. English communication skills. You watch that video, that would help you. And second part is how can we use vocabulary and how to memorize. So see, memorizing is a process, is a cognitive process that in which you can keep 2 points in your mind. One is create an immediate context of your own. And then the second point about memorizing is to use it. You create a context, imagined context of your own, and you just use this word. Whatever word comes to you, you just take it in a context. And that's why I focus on word combinations, phrases, and how a particular word has been used in a particular sentence. So your focus should be on that. And your last point is how we can use your vocabulary in our daily life. So this is not my vocabulary. These are the words, and all of us are living our lives with borrowed words. So these are the borrowed words. These are not my words, but certainly the vocabulary that we share through this platform. You can don't be impatient to plant all these words in your day-to-day life. See, a word has a context, and until or unless there arises a similar situation, don't try to plant a word, otherwise that would be a big blunder, because appropriateness of language is the thing that all of us should target. So thank you for your comment. I hope I have addressed your queries to a larger possible extent. And now I move on to the second part of advanced vocabulary through Dr. Shashi Tharoor's book, An Era of Darkness. First of all, we would have a recap of the words shared through first PPT, and I would not be giving you the meaning. The simple words: intemperate, lack of control, insulate, to protect from bad experience, prescient of criticism, indices, elide, and next is the next one is reproduce, amplitude, out on a limb, being alone, cupidity, and then the phrases. Now we move on to today's stuff for discussion. The first word is caveat. So a warning that particular things need to be considered before something can be done. कुछ चीजें करने से पहले कुछ हिदायतें दी जाती हैं. These are known as caveats, and it is in very much fashion in terms of legal terms. Any discussion of legal action must be preceded by a caveat on cost. Scruple, a feeling that prevents you from doing something that you think may be morally wrong. कोई ऐसी भावना जो आपको कोई गलत कार्य करने से रोके. Qualm or scruple, like we can say, the terrorists went for the bloodshed at a larger level without any qualm or scruple. So they didn't have any moral force that would have stopped them. Sponge, a piece of artificial or natural material that is often light and full of holes and can hold water easily, used for washing or cleaning. And in its metaphorical figurative use, you can use sponge. His mind was like a sponge, ready to absorb things, or ready to absorb anything. And one more particular uses of this word sponge, I found it very interesting. And through these observations, we can improve our writing skills, and that we can learn from this expression of Dr. Shashi Tharoor. It's a very beautiful expression. The Englishman flourished and acted like a sponge, drawing up ridges from the banks of the Ganges and squeezing them down upon the banks of the Thames. So this encapsulates the whole process through which our resources were looted by the Britishers. Sponge, that's the uses of it. और इससे पता चलता है कि किस प्रकार से ब्रिटिशर्स ने भारतीय संसाधनों का दोहन करके उनको इंग्लैंड में ट्रांसफर किया. स्केंट, हार्डली एनी, लगभग ना के बराबर. Not very much and not as much as there should be. I paid scant attention to what she was saying. There is scant evidence for this view. So we can use this word scant in so many situations, and you just imagine your situations, just responding to the comment, to treat somebody with scant respect, scant evidence, then you have scant attention, scant effort. So you can think of n number of things. And here you would get to know from the previous video on communication skills that it is here the role of transformative generative grammar becomes very vital. How you just transform one particular part of a sentence and how you transform it. Through transformation, you produce n number of sentences of the same structure. Opulent, made or decorated using expensive materials. Synonym is luxurious. Our people, extremely rich. Synonym wealthy, opulent, monarch. So this is about opulent, जो बहुत ही expensive है, कोई material जो बहुत ज़्यादा जिसको आपने बहुत अच्छे से श्रृंगार जिसका किया है, जिसको आपने डेकोरेट किया है, और कोई expensive भी है, खर्चीला कोई ऐसा मटेरियल, कोई वस्तु जो बहुत ही सुंदर हो. और लोगों के बारे में ऐसे लोगों के लिए ऑपुलेंट वर्ड यूज किया जाता है जो बहुत इकोनॉमिकली साउंड होते हैं. Pillage, to steal things from a place or region, especially in a war, using violence, plunder. युद्ध के समय किसी पर्टिकुलर जगह से चीजें उठाना, चुराना, that is pillage. And this is pronounced as both niche and niche. A comfortable or suitable role, एक ऐसा आरामदायक आपका कोई रोल या कोई ऐसी जॉब या कोई वे ऑफ लाइफ जिसके अंदर आपको कोई बहुत भारी मशक्कत ना करनी पड़े. He eventually found his niche in sports journalism. उसने स्पोर्ट्स जर्नलिज्म में अपना स्थान सुरक्षित कर लिया, पा लिया. He procured a place. Procurement is something different. That is with lot many efforts, with very difficulty. And niche is a comfortable achieving of a role or a job or a way of life. Next word is gall, rude behavior, showing lack of respect that is surprising because the person behaving badly is not embarrassed. एक ऐसा rude behavior जिसके अंदर कोई सम्मान की बात ही नहीं है, और जो rude behavior कर रहा है उसको उस पे अपने बुरे बर्ताव पर कोई पश्चाताप भी नहीं है. That is gall. The British had the goal to call him Clive of India. That jibe that Dr. Tharoor takes in his Oxford speech as well. Peer is a group It is derived from the word peer. Incongruous, it is eccentric, strange, and not suitable in a particular situation. Inappropriate. Incongruous, कोई ऐसी चीज जो inappropriate है, suitable नहीं है किसी particular context में, किसी situation में, और विचित्र है, that is incongruous. The two of them made an incongruous couple. उन दोनों ने एक बड़ा ही inappropriate couple बनाया अपने आप को. Incongruous. These ideas are incongruous to the theory of XYZ. Next, purloin, to steal something or use it without permission. किसी चीज को बिना किसी इजाजत के यूज करना या उसको चुराना, that is purloin. Profligate, using money, time, materials, etc. in a careless way, that is wasteful. The profligate use of resources. Profligacy, that's a noun. And now the word truncheon, a sword thick stick that police officers carry as a weapon. एक ऐसा छोटा डंडा जिसको पुलिस वाले रखते हैं एक weapon की तरह से. Wielding a truncheon with one hand and picking a pocket with the other. एक हाथ में छोटी वो लकड़ी, वो डंडी, और दूसरे हाथ से जेब पर अटैक. That was the true nature of the Britishers, as being described by Dr. Shashi Tharoor in this wonderful book, An Era of Darkness. Perfidy, unfamiliar treatment of somebody who trusts you. Something, treachery, dhokha. There are many accounts of the perfidy. विश्वासघात का बहुत सारे examples हैं. Secondary, the use of complicated plans and clever talks in order to trick people, that is secondary. While unpleasant or bad, it is used in an informal way. Extremely unpleasant or bad. Synonym is disgusting. A wild smile, he was in a wild mood. The weather was really wild most of the time. And in its formal uses, the word wild may be used as morally bad or corrupt. Completely unacceptable, synonym is wicked, the wild practice of taking hostages, or the wild practice of dowry. That way you can use it in another context. The points, phrases, word combinations, and uses of words on which I need your special attention. First is the comment on cricket prince Ranjit Singh, who according to Dr. Tharoor obliged his peasantry in the midst of a crippling drought to contribute to the British coffers during World War I. Coffer is public treasury, that's coffer, जो खजाना होता है. So he contributed to the British coffers, and as his state choked in the grip of famine, he literally burned up a month's revenue in fireworks display for a visiting viceroy. So that was the nature of some of the Indians who were so much influenced by the British authorities. And the first word we read during the vocabulary portion was caveat, and see how that word has been used in this book. One final caveat about this book. And here I have added two more. One final caveat about this statement, or one final caveat about this argument. This book has no pretension to infallibility, let alone be omniscience. So this is the approach through which Tharoor moves in his writings. He claims, or he doesn't pretend to infallibility. I find it far easier to forgive than to forget. Another expression on equal pattern is, I may forgive but not forget. Shameless record of rapacity, and I have added exploitation and ill treatment. You can think of some other replacements along with shameless record of. Succinctly described, that is described very precisely. Strife torn land. Strife is struggle, torn land, a land that is divided because of the strife, because of the struggle. And one more very incisive comment on the nature of British Empire in India by Dr. Tharoor is a commercial business quickly became a business of conquest. So the Britishers started uh, as traders, and they turned out to be the rulers. So that whole trajectory is being traced in this book, that how they started as a commercial business quickly became a business of conquest. A startling and unrivaled example of XYZ. A startling and unrivaled example of exploitation of Indian resources, or you can think of any other replacement. Faithful servants and sincere well-wishers. Last but not the least in this video, sufferance. We see the word suffer a number of times, it's in common uses, but sufferance we hardly use. So we can learn from this video that we can also use the word sufferance in our day-to-day speaking or writing when there is a situation demanding the same word in this form. Now I would request to like, share, and subscribe if you are new on this channel. The complete series is on your way very soon. And apart from this, videos would be uploaded furthering the series, the book analysis series, Think and Grow Rich. After that, the complete book analysis of this An Era of Darkness. I hope we would be able to continue with this engagement of mutual gain, and we would be making the most of our times, the difficult times, but that for sure would be over, as it is said, etadapi gamishyati, this shall to pass. Thank you.